Okay. When it comes to the domain algebraically, we're mainly worried about two things: fractions and square roots. Because you can break my machine by putting something in that's going to make it divide by 0. That's the fraction stuff. And then it's a real machine, so we cannot take the square root of negative numbers. So when I look at these, you have to worry about number 42 or 44. When you look at them, you ask yourself, fractions, yes or no? So this has got a fraction. So you look at the bottom. I'm not worried about the top for now. Eventually we'll get to the top, but for right now, this is the bottom. So I've got to figure out which numbers make the bottom 0. The best thing I can do is factor that. Make that what? X plus 4 and x plus 1. So negative 4 and negative 1 would make the bottom 0. It's kind of like doing the solutions that we did before. But now we make the answer, the domain cannot equal negative 4 or negative 1. That's the easy way to answer it. Just can't use those two numbers. You put those two numbers in your machine, it blows it up. 40 is the same kind of deal. But now I got to factor that, and I think, was it 8 and 5? Minus 8, 10. Plus 5. So negative 5 and 8. So x cannot equal negative 5 and positive 8. 41 is a little trickier. It is a square root. So with any of the square roots, whatever's inside has to be positive. In other words, it has to be greater than or equal to 0. Now, the easy way to think of this is, what kind of number do you get when you square it? When you square something, it's always positive. So if I'm going to take a number that's always positive and add 1, what do I know? It's always going to be positive. So for this one, all real numbers. Everything's going to work. In the end, if you would try to solve that inequality, you'd have to take the square root of a negative number, or you can't do that, but it's easier probably to analyze it that way with the squares. 42 we're skipping. 43, this is kind of the hard one, but not horrible. It's a combination of the fraction and the square root. If we start with the square root, we know that for sure 4a minus 1 has got to be greater than or equal to 0. But since it's a fraction, this saying it's equal to 0 actually would be bad, because that would blow it up. So we just make one slight change when you have a combination of the two. Our answer will not have the equal 0 in it. Okay? We won't put the equal 0 in it. Now I just got to solve it by moving 4a to there and the 1 over, and you would get a is greater than 1. Just make sure, remember on the inequalities, if you are dividing by a negative number, to switch it. Don't forget to switch it. 45 and 46 are pretty straightforward because you don't have to factor anything. There are two fractions, but that's no big deal. It's no different than looking at it like this. So the numbers that are going to make this bad, 0 and negative 1. So for your domain, x cannot equal 0 and negative 1. For this one, negative 3, positive 4. There we go. And that's it. You will see one or two of those maybe on the test. We got a long ways to go for the test. Not a long way. That's right, no school Monday. So you guys get another long weekend. This every other day thing is good for you guys, at least attendance-wise. For you guys in class, you don't need to upload it. Just turn it in. You may have done it already. That's fine. I don't know. Maybe I should just have everybody photo it and upload it. Is that easier? because you're always doing it anyway. Probably not a bad idea. I'm trying to save myself looking, but it doesn't make any difference. Okay.